So the first thing is, obviously Wyoming being, been a tough test for you guys throughout the Mountain West. What about this year? What makes them stand out this year?
Well, first of all, it's a tough place to go to and a tough place to play, and you're playing at altitude. You got to deal with that. It is, it can mess with your mind. First of all, if you don't approach it the right way, and so our guys, we got to take it on. They try to play this video before the game that's supposed to mess with teams, and so you just got to be prepared for all that. And then their style of play is so unique, and they try to take a lot of charges and jump out in front of you, and a lot of bodies go to the ground, and so you can't get frustrated with their style, and you gotta have a resolve that it doesn't matter what the score is, you just gotta find a way to get it done.
Is it a different challenge with that team this year? Without last year they had a lot of longer athletic guys like Larry and stuff like that who aren't there anymore. Are they different?
Yeah,
much?
But they've got one of the premier guards on the West Coast, and Josh and Adams, and he played terrific last year at the conference tournament, and it's a big part of why they willed themselves to the NCAA tournament, and I credit Josh with that, and he, like I said, he's played some of the best games I've seen on the West Coast for an individual guard, and it's not like their other guys can't play either. They got good guys around them that are making timely shots, and they've dropped some tough ones and some close ones here and there, but they've been in every game and they've been right there, and I expect nothing less.
They live to die by the three-pointer. It looks like. Talk about their perimeter shooting.
Well, you have to. You got to choose your poison a little bit. Whereas Josh can go out and get 38 like he did against New Mexico, and single-handedly win a game sometimes. But then when you make the choice to commit two guys to him, you're in trouble because those guys are really great.
He's been asked to obviously score a lot more this year. He's kind of one of those players that if he gets hot, it could be a long night.
Oh, absolutely, no question. And he's played well against us. And he's an athletic guard. He can make a lot of shots. He can go up over you. And he's one of those guys. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you're guarding him. He just rises up and makes it. He can make contested ones, and so you hope you can just make it possession by possession, make him have to work.
This time last year, Mikey Thompson was just struggling really badly, but this year, I think he's had 11 or more points in the last 9 games. What's been so different for him that you've noticed?
Well, he's just had a mature approach to the game and to his work ethic. He's in there shooting, putting in that extra time all the time. It's a lesson to every kid, that he's a great example to our young guys that you just got to get in here, plug away, grind away, and it pays off for you. And, he's also which one out of a fifth-year guy. He knows the system, he knows what we're doing, and he's just super comfortable in it. He takes the right shots at the right time, and shot selection's been almost impeccable, and gets everybody involved, and he plays for all the right reasons.
How much of a difference does that make for you and for your offense with him being able to drive like that and be so consistent doing it?
Well, we have to. The way we can spread a team out with the way our 4s and 5s and all our guys can shoot, and the threat to make those threes, Mikey, you got to have some guys that get to the rim with that, and Mikey's been really, really effective, and he's a one-on-one finisher that's become really, really efficient at it.
I think after San Jose State, for James's 18 rebound performance, he said, "Why not go after every loose ball?" I mean, how have you seen kind of his physicality go up on the defensive side without, he always seems to be not really in foul trouble?
Well, there was, out of those 18 rebounds, there was 3 or 4 of them that, that the other kids probably should have got, and the other kids on the other team, and he just willed it and went and got it and made it happen and ripped them away from them. I mean, it was just complete effort plays, and that's how you get 18 rebounds. 18 rebounds don't just fall to you. You got to go get them.
Teams have been shooting decent against you guys lately, but you've been able to get a lot of turnovers. 15 almost regularly. What's been the difference on that aspect?
Well,
How much?
Our guys are really understanding their assignments, and they're comfortable in our defense now, and they're becoming more and more comfortable in it, and they're doing a better job on scouting reporting. I credit, James got a couple scouting report steals, and that's just guys paying attention to where their guys are going to be and understanding what they're trying to do with each play that they're trying to run. And, so that helps you get a couple. But the guys are pretty comfortable in what we're doing now, and I think we've got kind of everybody on the same page.
Can you talk about maybe some of the mental challenges of going to Wyoming and you and altitude stuff? mentioned getting on the court and shooting a little bit, but how do you kind of settle that? I mean, you guys have been there a few times now, or some of these guys have. So how do you kind of get over that?
Well, we've got a system that we do, and that year in and year out kind of helps you. And we've had a lot of talks with my good friend Ted Boyle about it. He plays at Colorado, he coaches at Colorado, and there's an art to it, and there's also a science to it, and a lot of it's a mental approach to it. Because I don't think I'm a believer. There's some coaches that won't even talk about it. I'm not that way. I'd rather just address the problem and figure out how we can solve it and go from there.
Because it's. I mean, I think even last year after the game, you and the guys kind of admitted, it does have a bit of an effect.
Well,
so
there's no question.
What do you try to do differently, if anything, this time?
Well, the first thing they got to understand, we're not on the top of Mount Everest. It's not 30,000 feet high. We're at 3,000. They're at 7,000. So it's not. But there's an adjustment, and especially just at the start of that game. You just got to kind of get through that breakthrough, get your second wind, and then then it becomes a little bit more normal. But I think if you don't, my thought is if you don't address it, if you don't prepare for it mentally, then it can be in your mind. But if you prepare for it, it's going to be there, and you just deal with it. Then I think you can kind of just put it to the side and try to fight through it.
With reports obviously suggest that Josh Adams will start on Saturday. How does that affect? I mean, it kind of creates a little bit of an unpredictability maybe with that.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing about our trips to Wyoming, between the two of us, there's always somebody that's sitting out and suspended, and it's crazy. So I don't know. Larry's just trying to keep that going. Both of us have somebody out at some point. Dermot's been hurt. One year we went there with 4 guys suspended, and so I'm sure it's just it's not a big deal. They just won't start him, and I don't know if that in some ways that might help him.